Hello, everyone. My name is Austin DeLay, and my research was on love based teaching. So, why this research? If you look at the image right there, it states a quote. That quote is: "Kids that are loved at home come to school to learn. They have nothing to worry about at home. They can come to school and learn freely. But kids that aren't come to school to be loved." Now, when I talk about love, I don't mean romantic love, I mean a type of reassuring care for kids. They are not cared for at home, so they come to school for that comfort. The problem with, or why this research matters, the problem is that teachers struggle to integrate love based teaching into their curriculum. So, in other words, they focus too much on the rules and structure of their classroom that they don't take the time to build a positive reinforcing relationship with that child, to show that a caring classroom can also be a structured one. The impact of love based teaching shows that students who, or teachers that participate in love based teaching, students show that they have increased academic performance. There's less behavior issues in that classroom, and there's less disconnection in that classroom. So, in other words, students are going to be more connected with what the teacher's teaching. Students are going to be more connected with one another in a positive manner, and students are going to talk and deliberate and stay focused more. The goal of this research is to develop a framework of love based teaching that balances empathy and structure to improve student engagement and behavior. Evidence for love based teaching. Okay, this graph is a child misbehavior and parenting stress kind of score. So this was taken on the Love Based Logic webpage. As you can see, child misbehavior and parenting stress. Okay, this was implemented in a love-based parenting setting. It is shown that love-based parents have less misbehaviors in their kids than the preschool without love-based parenting. So if you incorporate love-based teaching, it would be the same aspect. So it, according to Jennings and Greenberg, empathy, so love-based teaching creates a safe and respectful learning environment. It builds trust, fostering emotional resilience and participation. In other words, if kids trust you, they're going to know that you're not like the other adults, like maybe even their parents at home that yell at them, scream at them, hurt them in many different ways. They're going to trust you and hold you at a higher standard, hold you at a role model because they can confide in you. They're going to want to listen to you more because they see you as a role model figure for them to encourage more positive behavior. And it is shown that this love based teaching provides stability, aiding self regulation and focus. Kids are going to be more focused in your classroom, and your classroom environment is going to be more stable as a teacher. And it's going to encourage students to be more accountable because if they trust you, they don't want to let you down, especially if they know you trust them as well. Proposed action plan. So the problem is that teachers do not know how to incorporate love-based teaching into their curriculum. The research questions I went with for my research was: why does love-based teaching lead to decreased disciplinary issues, especially in Title I schools? What challenges arise in integrating love and logic in the classroom? How does love-based teaching improve outcomes in Title I schools? This one's especially close to me because I work in a Title I school. And I can tell you that love-based teaching, the way I focus on it, works. Kids listen to me. They are more attentive to their schoolwork. They do not want to let me down on tests. Solution is to balance love, meaning empathy and care, with logic, structure, and discipline. So a teacher does need to have both of these in their classroom. They need to have that structure and discipline, but they also need to focus on balancing love into their classroom, that empathy, that care for kids. Honestly, I would even say have more empathy and care than logic at some point in time to help students grow. Okay. The goal is to enhance academic performance and reduce behavioral issues. Our goal in Title I schools should be to keep kids in school. Because if kids are not in school, if they're getting in trouble in school and we send them to OSS, for or complete OSS where they're kicked out of the school, then they're going to be more liable to get into trouble, to have disciplinary issues. I had a kid who got kicked out of the school where I work, and he came up to me. He was like, "Coach DeLay, when I was at that grocery store that day, I was stealing. You caught me." I was like, "Yeah, I know." And he felt so bad for letting me down, and he's completely turned a 180 this year with how he's acting and his academic achievements. Key components of the plan. So the target population is students in Title I schools, but it works with any school. Primarily Title I schools, because that is the area where you see kids who have bad home lives. Okay, so the action steps I took were to develop professional development workshops for teachers, implementing Love and Logic, to implement pilot programs, blending empathy with structured practices, and to evaluate outcomes using qualitative and quantitative measures. So that data matters. This timeline was going to be over a 15-week implementation with a review every 2 weeks on how teachers were implementing Love and Logic. And I want to focus on this little diagram right here. This is from the Love and Logic website for teachers. It's a whole article. It's called the Misbehavior Cycle. I know you can't see it really well through the screen, but basically this kid is not trusting in adults. And him not trusting adults lead to misbehavior, and this is a teacher retaliating against him in a negative manner. Okay, and this would follow this cycle right here. Okay, but if a teacher shows him some love-based care, he's not thinking about this. He's focusing on positive practices, and he's not going to misbehave. He's going to try to act his best to help other children, because he does not want to let you down, because you've showed him the care and structure that he needs. And benefits for stakeholders. There's going to be increased engagement and emotional well-being in students, improved academic performance. Teachers are going to have stronger classroom dynamics and enhanced professional satisfaction. And according to Jennings and Greenberg again, studies show improved classroom outcomes with relational teaching improves your classroom environment. And those are my sources there. Without further ado, take care. Please take this into consideration when you are thinking about incorporating this in your classroom.